Hello folks, welcome to the next in my series of videos. This project I'm attempting to build a globally scalable node.js application on AWS and Lambda. Also using DynamoDB, Simple Notification Service, and API Gateway. This video is continuation of the previous ones. I do have a look at the first in the series, the intro. It provides a little more background as to what I'm up to. But today's video is going to be essentially a continuation. I'm in the middle of debugging why my request history table was not getting updated correctly. I found the bug. It came from some test code. I have test harnesses for each module, and the test harness was introducing test data into the table, and I thought that data was coming from the main application, and that's what confused me. So now that I've got that sorted out, I'm just going back into the test module and have it clean up the test data that it creates, so I don't run into that sort of confusion again. And frankly, it's good form for tests to always clean up after themselves. That was kind of, I think I jumped to testing my stuff a little too soon before I finished all the bits and pieces I needed. One more note is that I've upgraded my Open Broadcaster software to the current version. And I ran a quick test video and it seemed fine. But as I'm looking at a playback of my own feed here, it looks really blurry, so I'm not sure what's going on. Hopefully that's just an artifact of playback. I also moved my webcam, in case you notice I'm facing a different direction. So my main work screen is now a bit to the left from your perspective. And I think that's about it. Yeah. Oh, I did get a question or a comment on one of my videos. And actually, that's what provoked me to upgrade Open Broadcaster software. It was from Rudy, I'll never pronounce this right, of course, Opal Chenoff. He was just saying I should do the videos in higher quality. So thanks for the nudge there, Rudy. That's why I upgraded OBS. And he also says increase provision units to DynamoDB. Now he's exactly right. I've only got only provisioned 5 read and 5 write units for DynamoDB. So that obviously won't work in production, but the thing is, you pay for that whether you use it or not. So if I was to crank those 5s up to 50s, I'd be paying $15, $20 a month to Amazon for that, even though no one's using it right now. Unlike most things on Amazon, which are consumption-based, read units and write units are not. They are pre-allocated quantities of performance that I guess Amazon has to put physical resources behind. So they charge you for it simply for having the setting at that value, regardless of what gets consumed. So, oh, my blurriness problem cleared up. Excellent. I was thinking I'd have to start and stop and restart. Okay, well, with all that said, let's get down to the fun process of coding. So I was looking for, all right, so I added a new routine to request history, which is request history, no, delete always. So this will remove a row regardless of, or without any conditions. Remove a row unconditionally. Let's copy that signature because I'm going to need it. So this add step writes it to the database. So I'm going to have to handle the callback on this and delete it. Oh, that's the wrong name. That's a better name. So this will be history. So alright, so we create the object. We add a step to it. We add a step which writes it to the database. And we remove the row based on that request ID that was created here. Okay. So here's our DynamoDB table. Get rid of that row. And run our tests. I forget which test caused the error. Oh, it's this one. DB is not defined. Line 46. Certainly is not. I just added that function to a library, but did not update my local libraries. Hmm. One of my tests failed. Test 0. Request history put step. This one. Request history put step. So the one I just updated. And that is saying the provided key element does not match the schema. So it's on this put, and it's saying this document is not providing a value for the primary key field on the table. Now if we look at this table, the primary key is request ID. So how is it we don't have a request ID? When in doubt. When in doubt, print it out. Of course, that's in the library. That takes entirely too long, doesn't it? Install prefix equals dot web slash request history. That's a little quicker. So here's our object. Why is there no request ID? There it is there in the constructor. Oh, there it is. Request ID. And that looks like a perfectly good GUID. The document's right. We must be writing it to the wrong table. Interesting. Really, it's in here. That looks fine. Hmm. Maybe it's not the primary key that it's complaining about. Because I do have indices on this. customer ID, created timex, and namespace are all mandatory. So, customer ID, check. Created timex, check. Namespace, check. Namespace with 2 caps, check. Oh, I bet it's not coming from the put. It's probably coming from this one. Yep, I bet that's it. Yeah, so that's the problem with doing 2 operations in a single test. You don't know which one failed. Now I provided for prologues and epilogues, so let's see what that does. I better build. Prologue, none. Doesn't seem right. Oh no, epilogue, that's right. I want the epilogue. But let's fix this now. You can just be callback. And the rest of this can go away. Callback is not defined. Oh. So it is occurring in the epilogue, which makes sense. That's the new code we added. The delete always. So I guess I don't have that quite right yet. Delete always. Here you are. So I should. Just going to delete the rows on request history. So it's saying that this key schema doesn't match DynamoDB. But when I look at it, request ID, copy, paste, looks right to me. request ID. Oh, I don't think it's lowercase. So, request ID, capital R. That would be it. And there we go. Now, did we clean up the database? Items. Well, we seem to have 3 rows there. Let me delete them and retry. Okay, run your tests. No rows. Very nice. So, garbage is no longer leaking in from the test code. Excellent. Let's see. Well, probably a good time to do a git check-in. Okay, now what do we do? Kind of lost track of where we were in terms of rolling request history out to everybody. So I guess we'll start with the system test. I'm going to clean all the data out of the tables, delete the logs, we'll run a system test, and we will see what gets recorded for the transactions. And that should tell us whether we're doing all the right things or whether I've missed anything. We'll start with that, and I'll go over here and delete data from DynamoDB. There's no data to delete. That's a very good sign, actually. Okay, logs, data. System test, here we go. I'd like to change the order these tests are running in. Sys.test.bat. Keep the database access ones together. There we go. So let's see what we got in our DynamoDB tables. There's one lock record, one request history record, and one scheduled arbitration record. It's probably correct. But let's have a look. Lock request. That is not right. Yeah, I think I made some updates to lock that I haven't deployed yet. So before we evaluate that, let's start over. Only this time we'll push all our changes. This will build and deploy everything. While we're waiting for that, I could explain how I organize the source code for the Lambda functions, which is a way to do it. I'm not sure it's the best way to do it. These are all my Lambda functions, and they're shared between development, test, and production, which it makes it a little tricky to do to manage versions. So there's a couple of features in AWS, I think I mentioned these before, stage variables and aliases, Lambda aliases, that allow you to have different API gateway stages pointing at different versions of Lambda functions. And I've used that basic facility here. To go into detail on exactly how I did it, it'd probably be an hour-long conversation, so we won't do that here, but those are the primary Amazon features that I based my versioning scheme on. Okay, so we're all deployed. Logs are wiped. I'll go back to DynamoDB and delete a couple of rows that we accumulated. Should probably write a script for it, but frankly, I'm afraid to write a script for it in case it accidentally gets run in production. Certain things you don't want to automate until you're confident that you can protect against accidental damage. And I haven't reached that confidence level yet. I haven't built the infrastructure to have that confidence level. All right, I think that's it. Let's run it. Of course, it'll be slow because it's cold starts on all the Lambda functions. And we're done. No errors. That is lovely. Let's look at DynamoDB. One there, one there, one there. So let's have a look. That's better. So I now have a message ID in front of these messages, which provides slightly better traceability. So we had, lost my train of thought, lock request, arbitrate, update lock, user callback, unlock, arbitrate, update lock. Really? Expecting delete lock. Arbitrate. Well, no, we wouldn't see delete lock yet. Oh, that's right. Yes, this is correct. But then if I do a sweep schedule, gone. That row is now gone, which is all correct. And arbitrate. Delete lock. There it is. Perfect. That is exactly what I was hoping to see. Not bad. Well, now I'm not sure where to go. I wanted to build a utility to quickly inspect the request history. But I needed, I hadn't recorded the lock hash. I would need to add that so I can query by lock hash. Do I want to query by lock hash? How do I want to query this? Why don't we start with just getting all the data and printing it out. Yeah, why don't we start there? Now, I did something like this before, so there is a project I can, or some code I can use as a model. Let's clean up some of these. Oh, actually, now that we have a clean run and everything is correct, let's check this in. This is a good checkpoint. Ah, what did I do? Forgot. Escape, colon, Q. Thank you. Let's get add. Right. Excuse me. So I'm going to say the first version of request history is complete and working. Okay, so where was... Uh-oh, I have an unflushed buffer. Crap. What did I last do here? Oh. Right. There. That's what was committed to disk, and that is fine. Okay. So, where did I do this? List aliases. That's where I did this. List functions. I didn't know I had one of those. Oh, this might be it. Yeah, I believe this is it. No, it isn't. Try that, see what it does. What was that? Was it in util? It wasn't util. Oh, just .js, okay. So, see what this does. Very nice. So yeah, that's essentially the sort of thing I need to do. I just need to do it against different data. This will be list request history. Well, not even a module header, that's rude. Yes, yes, and yes. Nodes. Yes. Yes. That is not relevant. Or is it? Sort by date. It'll be index name that I want. So the syntax for this command will be, I have what, two choices, three choices. Can list request history by UUID, which is essentially useless. Or I could use my indexes, and it's either by customer or by time. Well, if I do it by customer, I'd really want to restrict it to just one customer. If I do it by time, then it makes sense to dump all rows. So as a starting point, I think we'll hard code this to dump it by my, oh, hold it now. No, it's by customer by time, or by customer by namespace. Oh, by customer by time, I guess is fine. Let's do that. So we'll ignore that. Not sure what this is. Oh, it's used. Oh, how I love writing reporting software. dump it out in object format. Well, I'm going to take a break while I ponder that. I'll probably continue this session, but it will be a separate video. So, where did my video controller go? So, thank you folks, and we'll see you in the next video.